Welcome to the Ripple Effect podcast, where we highlight leaders, organizations, and change makers making meaningful impact in their communities. Through authentic conversations, we explore leadership, purpose, challenges, hope, and the ripple effect that happens when people commit to making a difference. We're your hosts, Brittany, Wayman, and
Traver Butcher.
And we are so glad that you are here.
Each episode invites you into real stories from people doing meaningful work in the world. People leading with courage, compassion, and vision in ways that often create impact far beyond what they can see. Whether you are a nonprofit leader, entrepreneur, community advocate, educator, or simply someone who wants to make a difference, this space is for you. So take a deep breath, lean in, and join us as we explore the power of everyday impact and the ripple effects that begin when people choose to show up for their communities. Let's dive in.
Well, Darrius, we are so excited to have you on the Ripple Effect. We're so glad that you're here. So tell us a little about you and the heart behind your work.
Yeah. First, I want to say thank you to you guys for having me on the podcast. I'm very excited to be able to share a little bit about myself and the work we do at Generations Community Bank. To tell you a little bit about the heart behind what I'm doing now, I got to tell you a little bit about the bank and then how both of those coexist with each other. So Generations Community Bank is Indiana's first minority depository institution. For those that are listening, there actually was a bank that was a minority bank. However, the Minority Depository Institution, the MDI tagline from the state or from the federal government was not established at that time. So technically, by that trade, we are Indiana's first minority depository institution.
Wow.
And also want to pay homage to, those that established the first one, but that designation was not available at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that mean? We're a mission-driven bank. The mission is to help provide resources to individuals and communities that have been underserved and underbanked. Why that's important is because, studies will tell you as small businesses do well, the economy does well as a result. And on the flip side of that, a lot of these small communities, they are would be hurting without, the mom and pop restaurants, mom and pop plumbers.
Yeah.
So with that coexists with me. As I grew up here in Indianapolis, I bounced around through my school years while I lived here. I lived from 38th and Keystone to 38th and Post Road and everywhere from north to south. So why that's important to me, why banking is important to me. I originally got into banking on accident, you would say. Someone gave me a shot at banking, which turned out to be a blessing for me because it allowed me to understand the financial system, to be able to bring it back to my community.
Wow.
My mom, she just was able to purchase her first home about 4 years ago.
Wow, let's celebrate that. Shout out to Mom.
That's incredible because I come from a family that was, we weren't hurting, but we also weren't super rich. So understanding the financial system is very important to understand how to leverage that and all that good stuff. And it's very important to see because the only way you can create generational wealth is through understanding financial systems and or investments. And that is how we coexist, how my upbringing and how I got into banking and, my background meshes with generations and why I decided to join the team and try to push this mission forward.
I love that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I love the
Very
way you
cool.
mentioned too about just some of the small businesses and the mom and pop type of shops and places that are in the community that really are the heart and blood of the community that keep the community going. I know where we live, it's pretty residential, but there's this newer, probably it's been open for maybe a couple of years, restaurant. And it's so nice to have like a sit-down restaurant that's, not too far away because it is so residential. So it's nice. I'm like, oh my gosh, we can actually go somewhere that's like a block away and keep the money in the economy, keep it right here in our zip code within our community. And when we were there recently, we discovered that that the owners of the restaurant live in our community. They like
That's cool.
live, not too far away. So it's like, oh yeah, we definitely want to spend our coins over here and support that. So
that's awesome.
I appreciate that you brought that up.
Yeah. That's awesome. When you think about your, not just your heart and the connection, but what keeps you connected to the mission?
Yeah,
I mean, you kind of went into that a little bit, but
I love to elaborate on it more. I mean, truthfully, my upbringing, I looked, through checking credit reports and my transcripts and all that. Before I graduated high school, we lived in about 11 different places.
Wow.
So,
wow.
And that wasn't. That was just a circumstance of our environment.
Yeah.
My mom trying to be somewhere that's affordable for us, and maybe not understanding the everything that goes into banking and how all the programs and all that were out there for first time home buyers and all that good stuff. So I stay attached for two reasons. One, because of that, my upbringing, and two, so many people helped me along my journey. Through high school, through college, and to where I'm at now, where I wouldn't have made it anywhere close to where I'm at without the wealth of people that decided to help me out. So, how do I pay that forward? Well, I try to learn this banking system, this financial system, to be able to then provide it to those that really need it, that don't have the financial well-being to go and pay someone to teach them how to run a successful business or how to do that. I try to leverage my understanding to help the small business owners to be able to thrive. I mean, for one, it, as I said, it helps the economy, but it makes everything just so much more affordable. That mom and pop restaurant or the mom and pop plumber or electrician, they're not charging as much as the big guys. They're making it very affordable for people like my grandmother, who AC goes out and she's on a fixed income. She doesn't have $5,000 to go do this. So it's a mission that has been as I look back, that has been brewing for me since I can remember. That I'm able now to live out at a bank that. We're new to the market, but the mission itself is one that's been needed for quite a while. Helping these small businesses to be able to really thrive in a time where after COVID and all that, a lot of small businesses failed and didn't have the ability to really thrive and grow. So, really trying to push that forward and help these small businesses.
Yeah, you mentioned. That not everybody has the connections and the relationships, but we all have relationships.
Right.
So who are the people that really impacted you that have helped spur you into what you're doing?
Yeah, man, I've been in mentor groups since middle school. One of my earlier mentors when I was in sixth grade. Guy by the name of Mr. Gibson, and I actually just spoke with him on the phone probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Awesome.
And I'm glad you asked me that because I need to reconnect with him. I'm supposed to get lunch, but people like him, and I attended Light of the World Christian Church throughout high school, and I had 2 people there that really pushed me, stayed on me, and made sure I got through. Got through college. It was Anderson White and a guy by the name of Mr. Sullivan, who they led a youth group called Boys to Men, and every Tuesday I was with them, every Sunday I was with them at church, and their stories, their impact really helped me to be able to push forward through. And then when I got to college, I had a long journey through college. I went to 4 different colleges or universities before I finished up at Indiana University Northwest, where I graduated. But even when I got there, it was on a whim. My mom dropped me off when I first got there on the steps. We didn't have dorms. There was really no place for me to live, and the coach and the athletic director said, "Hey, drop him off we'll take care of him and make sure he graduates and finishes.
Wow.
So that was Christopher Schnatz and Javier Heredia, who's the coach there now. So I look back and I got so many people who just, for whatever reason, I like to call it God's blessing, but they just stuck with me and made sure that I finished through.
Yeah.
And even in high school, when I was trying to play basketball, and I did get to play in college, but there was a trainer by the name of Yusef Green who trained me for free, because I was just around the gym, and he decided to let me. So I had a lot of instances like that of things that, you can say happened out of nowhere that kind of to push me forward. So I try to do that for business owners now, where I say, hey, use me as a resource.
Yes.
Try to use the connection to people that I know. Or even, if I can't make a connection, I'm happy to try to open up a door any way possible to really make sure that they have the resources that they need to be able to thrive.
Yeah.
So, sticking with it and staying true to my nature. So,
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, Darrius, I love the alignment around the generational curses that you're trying to break, and the name of this bank as well. Like, when you talked about your mama getting into a home and 4 years ago, I was like, we got to celebrate that. We got to take a minute to celebrate that, because that's huge.
Absolutely.
And thinking about the impact that people have had in your life, and how now you are like, how can I reach back and help other people, whether it's small business owners, whether it is people within the city that need to break some chains, that need a breakthrough, they need some momentum to get things started, to start investing, to start saving. So I would love to hear, I know you guys, have recently opened, I saw on social media all the ribbon cutting and everything. But I would love to hear if you have any stories of some of the ripple effect that's already happened in the short time that you guys have been open and you guys have been in business.
Yeah. It's, one, I wanted is to be thankful for the bank for Al London, our CEO, for his pushing through to make sure that this dream became a reality, and the cast, the ensemble of people that he put together for this mission, because it's truly a unique, diverse, and very well educated and thoughtful people that he has that are on the team that really have a true heart, not just a thought, they have a true heart of giving back and making sure this mission it lives out. Impact wise, I'll say first the staff. The impact that he provided us a leg up where we may not have had it at other financial institutions. He provided us a space where you can come in and move into a position that may not have been accessible to you. So for me, for example, I'm the vice president of business banking over there. In my previous role, I was just a banking manager, commercial banking manager there. So he's given me the space to really be able to let my knowledge play out to where I can really help and everything that I've learned, be able to put it forward.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And he's done that for, I would say, for everyone at the bank, been able to provide them a path to move forward and to do better things. And now from a mission standpoint, getting our name out there, really trying to make that social impact. And that's twofold. One, we have to be, successful banks. So some of the stories there is just going out there and trying to connect with customers and people who may not quote unquote fit the mold, but the bank itself has to grow so we can then be able to, deploy those resources for those small businesses, those areas of impact that we see that need that extra special touch. And then the impact that we've made on that small business side it's really been, I can't tell you how many business owners and nonprofits we've sat down with and just been present with them. But that's the mission there. That's the true mission there, is just to sit, be present with these business owners.
Yeah.
May not even be from a capacity of lending or even be able to provide any banking to them. But it's to sit, be present, be able to hear their story, and be able to share what banking looks like to them. Just last week I sat down with a small business owner, and they are thinking whether they should expand, stay doing what they do. So to be able to provide that thought process, because everyone wants to scale up.
Oh, that's so good.
But scaling up is not always the best option at the time.
Yeah.
It's really sit down, think about the financial impact of scaling up. Are you in a spot now where you are doing abundantly more in this facility or space that you're in, where it can pour over into a new space or facility?
Yes.
And a lot of business owners think, well, this business is doing well. I think it's doing well enough to open up another one. If you're kind of about that break even, it doesn't make sense. So just to be able to share that, with that business owner, and to be able to, have them sit down and really think about the financial impact of opening up another space,
Right.
the inventory needed, the more customer base that you need, and be able to think all that through, is what the bank was created for.
That's a huge asset.
That's awesome.
Especially as a small business owner, you can be isolating.
Yeah.
And so it's nice to have a thought partner. So for those who are listening right now, know that Generations Community Bank, it can be a thought partner for you. So if you're thinking about expanding, if you're thinking about moving into a different territory, this is a huge community asset that you can, connect with Darrius and his team and have a thought partner in this, and not make these decisions by yourself, because that small businesses, it can be so isolating. You're like, I think this is a good idea. Yeah, this is a great idea. And you're like, no, I actually need to talk to a human and about if I really think this is a good idea.
Yeah. Absolutely. When you think, because you're a newer business yourself, as a bank, what are the challenges that you see for you guys in this newness? But and some of that might be reflective in what you're also helping with other people. But in their own businesses. But what do you see some of those challenges and those I don't know, maybe pain points or growth points? So it could be pain point as a more, I don't want to say negative, but more on the negative side. But then also some of the growth points that you see on the positive.
I think you hit it on the head right there when you said that we are a new business, just like some of the businesses that come in and try to help us. That is the true. We are a new business, so we are going through growth pains, trying to make sure we get in a good customer base, trying to make sure that we are leveraging our time precisely, where we are growing the bank, but also still making sure we're doing our social impact and being able to help these small business owners. A lot of times people start a business and have the mission at hand and forget that you have to first make the business successful. Then, as you are building up that success, you are then able to deploy that success to make sure the mission is well driven and has a lane to succeed. So, what pains are we going through? Same as every typical new business. Customer base, going out there trying to make sure we get the right customer base and get a good customer base in. On top of that, just our systems, right? When you're a new business, you don't really think about the systems in play. Maybe it's a job that you've been doing. Maybe you're, let's say you're an accountant and you're going to go start your own accountant firm. You don't think about all the systems that existing business had that you were at. All the minor things.
That makes sense.
When you go start, you go, oh, I didn't think about that.
Somebody got to build it.
How did that? Right. For us, it's debit cards. And by the time people are hearing this, we should have debit cards out. But for us, when we opened up in March, it was we thought we'd have debit cards late March, but there's a whole system behind it with Visa and all that we didn't even know and understand. That you don't even think about, because when you're at an existing bank, it's easy to get debit cards. You can get debit cards in 5 to 7 business days. If you open up a new account. So for us, it's all those minor things, right? When we closed our first loan, it was things that we've done previously at our other institutions, working the loan from point A to point B. But then you got to think about all of the systems that we haven't had established yet or haven't had to use yet. Making sure wires are sent out, making sure documents are placed in the right location so they can be uploaded to the system.
Absolutely.
Thinking about, hey, who's going to take this mortgage and get it, stamped at the state to make sure it's proper. So all those little things that you don't really think about kind of hit you hard, and then you got to figure it through.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to go through our growing pains just like any new business, which is fun because now things that I am sharing with businesses, I can say, hey,
right.
I've stepped out.
This is experience.
Absolutely. We know what we're talking about.
Yes, I'm here to tell you.
Making sure, like I said, we're in the same spot. So, just this past week, we had a lot of people out, whether they were on vacation or at trainings. So, our staff was cut thin. So we had people, I was on the teller line trying to help out. It's a true small community bank where we have a need, some space. You can be the CEO, you can be the executive, you can be whoever. We have a need here. Can you help fill it and make it? So, when you're a small business owner, you wear every single hat.
Yeah.
Right?
Woo! Oh, absolutely.
You're the CEO, the CFO, you're the frontline worker, you're everything. So, we're having those exact same instances as we're growing this way.
Yeah, that tees me up to a question for you here. Is so, like you said, it's kind of all hands on deck.
Absolutely.
Yeah, everybody's, jumping in and supporting and things like that. Truly a community effort as a staff. And so how do you sustain yourself with the pressure, the demands, the growing business, trying to get people to know Generations Community Bank? So how do you create healthy rhythms for you so that way you can have longevity in your career?
Absolutely. That's a good question, because burnout, a lot of businesses fail, as we see in that first 12 to 24 months, either a burnout from the stresses of trying to start a business, or, they're just not getting the traction that they need. So that provides its own different level of stress when you're just not able to get the customer base in. So, for me, I've always been, and just me personally, I've always been in a space where be helpful. From early childhood to, when I was in school and through church and all that, it's always been a philosophy taught to me of being helpful. If you're somewhere and there's a need and there's a space for help, be helpful. There may not be any direct impact to you, but being helpful is always something that I feel through God as I am helpful to other people, He then pours back blessings into me. So I'm always helpful. So if it's a need, an impact that can be made on through the business or even through the community, hey, I'm here, I want to help. If the time allows it and the time sets it up. And for me, everything's on God time. So if there is a space where I'm needed to be helpful, He opens up that door where I can be helpful. And how do I keep my mental on? One, for me, I know it's a new bank. I know there's going to come stresses. So it's acknowledging the fact that there are going to be early stresses.
Right.
I can't go into it thinking that
makes
everything is going to be nice, sweet, clean. You have to go in thinking, hey, I'm going to have to get my hands dirty. It's going to be stressful. There are times where, for us, as I'm in charge of getting in commercial loans, there's times now where it's stressful for me because it's like, hey, we're getting stuff in. It's not the right type of stuff. It's not the best quality type of stuff. So I don't feel that we're moving in the fast pace that I thought we would as far as that front. But I also understand that what I signed up for when I joined the bank. It's going to be a challenge. Don't accept it. When I accepted this role, I accepted with understanding that more of my time is going to be needed at the office. And I'm married. I got 3 little kids. So, when I was at my previous place, I worked from home. So I was done at 2 or 3 o'clock. I'm hanging out with the kids. My wife comes home from work, we're all hanging out. Now I'm getting home at 6:30 sometimes, anywhere between 5:30, 6:30. And if I have a meeting or an event after work, I might not be home till 9, so I don't see my family at all throughout the day. But that's also what I signed up for. So for me, it's understanding what I signed up for. And then it's going out there and doing exactly what I signed up for. Understanding it's a community bank. I've worked in the community bank before. I know that you have to wear multiple hats. I understand that you have to give your time elsewhere. But then also still do your job that you were paid to do. I still have to go out there and meet with business owners, connect with them, and try to get them in the door and close commercial loans and get deposit customers in. So, you have to know what you signed up for, be ready for what you signed up for, and then act on what you signed up for. That's how I keep myself sane and keep the day flowing and be ready for the next day.
Yeah,
thank you.
That's awesome. What kind of leader do you see yourself becoming in this season?
When I think of the best leaders that I have either heard speak, worked for, or seen in action, they always come from a space of they'll say, great leaders work from the back or work from, within. So for me, it's always been in a humble space of never thinking never thinking I know it all, to where I can't hear someone when they have something to express, say, or share with me from an information standpoint. Even if they're sharing something that I already know, it's always taking it in and giving them the space to be able to feel like they can share. Many times leaders think that their time is all bottled up and they don't have time. One thing that our CEO does now that I really enjoy is he finds time to walk around, say good morning, say hello to everyone. Even though we're a staff of 17 right now, even for him, we're a new bank, so you can only imagine how much of his time is needed elsewhere, outside of the bank, making connections, meeting with stockholders, meeting with people who can influence the bank. He finds time out of his day to connect with the entire staff, allowing us a space to be able to share our praises and or our grievances, and still be able to do his job. So for me, I learned only through basketball, that team player, that space of just because I think I'm right doesn't mean that I am right, and always having a space to be able to learn. I enjoy learning for one. I'm someone who, the old adage, you learn something new every day. I'm that someone who looks for something new to learn every day.
That's good.
I try to go out there and seek new information, seek
That's awesome.
Understanding on things that may not even have to do with my job. I just like to learn information that can bring a better quality to my life. So the leader that I see myself becoming in this is one who understands the stresses of the day, because I don't want to say a lot of leaders, but there are some leaders out there who don't understand the stresses of the day that their employees go through. So understanding the stresses of the day, understanding the demand of the job, and also being in a space where you're allowing your employees, letting those subordinates under you to be able to share their praises and their grievances with you, and be in a space to be able to celebrate with them, or give them that extra little push if they need it, so that they can be successful. So that's the probably the leader I see myself coming into this season.
That's awesome.
That's good. For those who are listening, tell us, how can the community support you? How can the community support Generations Bank? Whether that's through collaboration, partnerships. Talk to us a little bit about what that could look like.
There are several ways. One, the obvious, we need deposit customers. We need people with direct deposit at the bank. We want to be people's banking home, banking hub. And we understand that as we are growing and going through those growing pains of being a new business, a new bank, that we may not have all of the technologies that a lot of customers are used to if they're at a Chase or a Fifth Third or Old National, right? But understand that we're getting there, just like any new business. We are getting there. We're going to be there. So, we're looking for people to work with us, understand that, understand what they're signing up for, understand that and be able to grow with us as we grow into a space where we're going to be, the bank that we've envisioned ourselves to be. Second, there's through loans. We need commercial loans on the books, so we need business owners to come and see the quality of banking that we do over Generations Community Bank. From a standpoint of lending, where I think that we thrive very well is being present with those that we're going to lend to and work with, being present, being accessible, and also being a source of resource knowledge, or someone you can bounce ideas off of. Second, we try to make banking simple. We want them to understand that what they're signing up for, and what all goes into banking. So whether you're a new business owner or a seasoned business owner, we want it to feel seamless and simple when you come and bank with us. We want you to understand your terms, understand your conditions, understand everything that goes through banking. Then the last one is collaboration. We want small business owners, whether we're going to bank with them or not, to be able to feel like they can walk in the door and be able to get some advice from a banker. I tell people all the time, use us as a resource. Walk in, establish a connection with us. You may not need any banking or lending today, but maybe 3 years from now, you do. Or maybe you're trying to set yourself up. Come meet with us early so that we can create a roadmap where those next 2 years.
That's so good.
Capital.
Hear that?
Yeah.
Right.
So, my chief banking officer, Leo Lopez, he had a lady who's looking to buy a building in the next 2 or 3 years. And, what he told her was, well, why are you not communicating with us now? Communicate us now so we can see what you're looking for and how can you get to that point where you can achieve that to get to your dreams, right? As I learned early on, dreams, you can have dreams, but they don't become truly obtainable until you write them down. So, for those small businesses out there that are looking to start, grow, become more established, get a place of their own, start the process early. You don't want to start the process and say, hey, I got a 6-month window to try to get this thing done. Start it a year, 2, 3 years in advance. So you give yourself a great runway to become successful.
That's awesome.
That's
so good.
Those are the things I would say that the listeners, the people out there, that if they want to help Generation Community Bank, those are probably the 3 vehicles, to come and be a deposit customer. If you're a business owner or an investor, to come get a loan from us and see how we make banking, simple, and how we're trying to create generational wealth in the community. And second, and that last one is collaboration, events, networking, and also just being a lifeline to those small businesses. So.
The big differentiator I see as well is the personal connection. Like you can actually talk to a human being. And the accessibility and proximity that you guys have to people is the big differentiator I see with Generations Community Bank, and that's huge. That's a huge thing to set you guys apart.
So another question in conjunction with that, where are you guys located so that way people can come and know where you are and say, I heard this guy. I want to come to
that. Where is Darrius?
We are at 21st and Illinois, right off of the highway. So we're in the old AES IP.
Oh, yeah.
Familiar with the payment center. It is now, we've remodeled the bank. It's beautiful and new. I invite people to just come and see the bank, see the resource that we've put into this bank, and the convenient location. If you look at where our bank is, there's not another bank within that proximity. It was intentional why we
very strategic.
Where we went. Absolutely. That's you want to say it for banking, it's probably a less desirable space. You got some liquor stores there. You just got some other spaces there that are probably not conducive to getting in a quality line of people, but we were intentional when we moved there because we wanted to be in the space that the location, the space of people we're trying to help, communities we're trying to help.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So the next location we're in is the Baxter YMCA.
Okay.
That location opened this month in April. So that location is convenient because it's in the Chin community, so that's a community too that has not been previously banked.
So good.
We're intentional where we were there, so trying to help the communities that our mission is there to touch. So,
awesome.
So you got the Baxter YMCA, which is off of Shelby Street on the south side, and then you have 21st in Illinois, right off the highway. Those are our two locations right now. And as I said, the biggest thing is we're intentional with both of those locations that we put in there.
Absolutely. So, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
So as we get ready to wrap up, tell us what is one small way that the community, how can they create a ripple effect in the community? What would you say?
Man, be present. Know what's going on in your community, and be present. You know, I feel that we've moved from this space where when I grew up, the neighborhoods I grew up in, especially early on, you know, every adult on my street sort of had a say so in what was going on with me. You know, if I was bad, he watched down the street. You know, Miss Smith she called my mom. She didn't tell her she had my mom's number. She called my mom.
That's right.
Hey,
that's right.
Well, your son isn't doing what he's supposed to do, and I think we moved from that community feel to more of an individualization of people on their own islands. Where you don't see as many family reunions, you don't see as many community cookouts, community times where they're together. So, you know, I say be present in the community. That's knowing what's going on in your community and trying to make connections with your neighbors, with the organizations, with the small businesses in your neighborhood and community. So, you know, not from a standpoint of you trying to understand and know everything, but a true impact of it's one organism. The community used to be a living, breathing thing of everyone working together, growing and making an impact together. And we've moved away from that. And I think we need to get back to that. That's why Generations Community Bank was created. That impact of helping those communities that have not been able to get help and not been able to be banked.
Yes.
It's creating that community feeling and creating that unity to be able to go out and have communities thrive and be together again. You know? So
it's beautiful.
I would say that's how people can make a ripple effect is be present, know who your neighbor is, and find ways to connect.
Beautiful.
So good.
Love that. Well, tell us how we can get a hold of you, like social, email, what social media platforms are you on, all that good stuff.
Yeah, so I'm on LinkedIn, Darrius Davis. That's Darrius with 2 R's. You know, Instagram, Facebook, same thing, Darrius Davis. And then, you know, through my LinkedIn, you know, you can have access to my number and my email to be able to connect. And to be able to share ideas and find ways that, you know, we can collaborate together, whether that's through banking or just through networking. And I'm in a capacity where I still like to learn as well. That's why I like this job. I like to learn about businesses. I like to learn about what gets small businesses going, what you know, their methodology behind what they created and how they're planning it for the future and all of that good stuff. So
that's awesome.
You know, I'm here. Reach out to me. As I always say when I leave every meeting I'm in with any person or small business owner, use me as a resource. I'm here. I want to share the stuff that I've learned because banking should be simple. Banking should be accessible to everyone. And you should not feel like it's some unicorn that you know, you can obtain because banking is simple. You know, there's no mystery behind it. So I tell everyone, you know, find out how Generations Community Bank is making banking simple.
Love that. And drop the website. What's the website for Generations Community Bank?
It is mygc.bank. So,
Okay.
mygc.bank.
Yes.
Okay.
Awesome.
Awesome. Well, awesome. Well, Darrius, thank you so
Yes,
much for
thank
joining
you
us
so
on the
much.
Ripple Effect. We've loved having you. You guys, make sure you connect with Darrius Davis of Generations Community Bank. Whether you are looking to deposit your money over there, maybe it's collaboration, maybe it's a commercial loan, maybe you just need a thought partner with your small business. He definitely mentioned that roadmap. That is huge to be able to have a resource that you can check out. So connect with him over at Generations Community Bank, and we will see you next time on the
Ripple Effect Podcast.